I don't get this. Why? Why deface this scenic area with graffiti like this? This is like marking your territory. Seriously, why? Why? Like, you best better recognize this is Little Joker's territory here. So if you want to sell your meth, can't do it here. This is his spot. Geez, I mean, why stop here? I think there's some blank space at Yosemite. Maybe the Grand Canyon. This spot looks as good as any. And today, I'm gonna be fishing with peas. I got a high-low rig here. And this is my first time fishing with peas. Let's see how it goes.
So whenever I've tried jetty fishing, I've had no success, but there's this little voice inside me that keeps telling me to try it again, but maybe with a different strategy, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm using these peas. I've seen them on YouTube, and it's apparently a proven method for catching opali, so we'll see.
Now the problem with using peas is that the peas are incredibly fragile. Like, they will fall off your hook very easily. Just that little movement of me coming on these rocks actually took one of the peas right off, so something tells me I'm going to be doing this a lot today. I mean, just that cast, one of the peas came off. All right, I can tell already that this pea plan is not gonna be a good one. I haven't gotten any bites. The peas keep falling off. I'm very impatient, as I've probably mentioned to you guys before. Very bad quality to have if you're a fisherman. So I've got some mussels here that I think the fish will respond to more positively. Let me try it with one of these mussels. Let's see if I can. Oh, I see a school of fish down there. Boy, that fog really moved in out of nowhere. It's completely pea soup conditions right now.
All right, so how was that for thrilling fishing content? Edge of your seat stuff, giving diehard fishing a run for his money. Well, no surprise, the trip to the jetty ends with me skunking. I know I'm doing something wrong with the peas. Maybe it's the hook size, but I don't see how any hook size is gonna be able to prevent those fragile peas from falling off. I was even putting 3 peas on at a time with the hope that one of them would stay on, but that didn't last too long. I don't know, are there more durable peas out there, like with thicker skin, that I'm not aware of? Anyways, this isn't over yet. I'm gonna try my luck at another jetty, maybe tomorrow, if I can find the time, so stay tuned.
All right, we're at a different jetty now. Hopefully have better luck over here. Certainly a more beautiful jetty. Don't see a lot of tagging everywhere and graffiti, which right away makes you feel just more in tune with nature. Just feels a little bit more natural and calming. And when you got graffiti everywhere, it's just kind of like defeats the purpose of, at least defeats one of the purposes why you're out here. I mean, of course you're here to catch fish, but you're also here to enjoy the beauty of nature. And when you've got graffiti everywhere, it just kind of ruins it all. So at least the surroundings here are much nicer. Now all we need is to be able to catch a fish, and that would make it perfect. So for this session, I'm ditching the peas, using cut up clams. Let's check the bait. Oh, I got a fish? I got a fish! I didn't even know I had this fish on. That, my friends, is the first fish I've ever caught from a jetty. Believe it or not. It's a little sand dab. Big moment for me. And I don't believe there's a size limit to sand dabs, but this one's just a little bit too small. There you go, little sand dab. Again, my first fish ever caught from a jetty. So a little clarification here. What I meant to say was this is my first fish from a deep water jetty. I've caught lots of fish at shallow jetties where most of the time the jetty's not filled with water, and there's certainly not kelp to navigate around like in these deeper water jetties. Anyways, quick sidetrack. Take a look at this footage that I took about a year ago when there was a huge storm brewing off the coast. This guy managed to outrun it, but there was a couple that I saw ended up getting swept in briefly. Fortunately, they were able to pull themselves out quickly. Okay, I forgot the name of this fish, but future me will tell you what it is right now. All right, from what I've seen online, I think this is a baby giant kelpfish. Does anybody know for sure? I can't kick the hook out. Oh, here we go. All right, whatever you are, live a long life, be free. I wasn't able to record the catching portion of this next fish that Liam caught, but it was a great one. All right, Liam, your first opal eye. Our first opal eye. I've never caught one before. What was it like?
It was a great hit. It felt so good catching it.
Yeah, that's a big one. Let's take a look at it. Hold it up a little bit. Yeah, nice job. All right, well, we're definitely gonna take that one home. I've been wanting to cook an opal eye for a long time. Try it. I heard it's good for sashimi. I heard it's good cooked. Great job. So inspired by Liam's awesome opal eye catch, I decided to return the next day. All right, there's a bite. I got one? Either got a fish or I got seaweed. Let's see what we got. Is that seaweed? Whatever it was, came loose. I think it was a fish. I'm gonna put a little bit more bait on this hook right here. All right, let's try that same spot. What I'm trying to do is cast right beyond the kelp over there. Because if you cast in all this kelp, you got a pretty good chance of getting tangled. Oh, there we go. I got one. I got one. What do we got here? Come on. What is that? What in the world is this? Interesting. Look at that. All right, so obviously with the vast knowledge of the ocean I have and its creatures, I can definitively say that this is a rock wrasse. That's exactly what this is. I'm gonna unhook this guy and let him go. It's a cool looking fish. All right, let's get this guy unhooked. There he goes. He just went away. He slipped out of my hand, went into that crevice, and then the wave came and washed him away, so he's all right.
All right, let's move. I was getting some bites, but it completely died down, so let's move further down the jetty.
Got one here. There we go. We got a Butterlip Perch here. Cool. I wasn't really sure if I had a bite or not, but that's pretty cool.
All right, here he is. My first Butterlip Perch. You can see he's aptly named here. He's got those lips that are yellow, kind of like butter. First one I've ever caught. I heard they taste really good, but it's a cool looking fish. It's brown, and it's also got some like turquoise type hues on the top over here. Really cool. I usually do surf fishing, so this method of fishing is something that I don't really employ very often, but super fun, and hopefully I can catch some more.
All right, well that was cool. That was my first Butterlip Perch. I usually don't find a lot of success here on the jetty. I usually surf fish, as you guys know from my videos, so you know, just trying something new, just trying to see what other fish are out there and have fun doing it too, because you know, when you do the same thing over and over, it just becomes boring. Don't get me wrong, I love surf fishing, and I'll continue to do that hopefully until the day I die, but this is really fun too.
All right, I'm going to be changing my rod. I'm going to be using this rod right here, and there's a funny story with this rod. You can see here that the tip is broken. This is actually the first fishing rod that I ever bought. I don't know, it was like years ago, and when I wanted to get into fishing, surf fishing specifically, I got this rod at Walmart, and I don't know how the tip broke. I think it might have broken the car, or maybe I closed the door on it or whatever, but it was only like, I don't know, 5 inches or so that broke off, maybe 6 inches, and it still works fine, specifically for this type of fishing. It's not all about the feel. So I use this at the pier for, you know, pier fishing with my boys, and it works fine. So today's all about highlighting the ghetto gear that I use, I guess.
All right, let's try this area right here. There's a bite. Just a couple of bites. You're not going to see it on this rod tip, but those were definitely bites.
All right, well that was fun. Stayed out here a couple hours, a little bit more than 2 hours. Only caught 2 fish, but it's still a lot of fun, especially since it's a fish that I've never caught before, and I've never had a lot of success doing this type of fishing. So just trying to figure it out is part of the fun. And even though that fish that I caught was pretty small, it's always fun to catch a new species. I don't care if it's small or large. I think everybody has a desire just to catch different fish and have variety, just so it's not always the same thing. And that's kind of how I feel right now. It's pretty cool to catch that Butterlip Perch, even though it wasn't the hugest fish, but I heard they're good eating, and I'm excited to try something with it. Man, this jetty is like night and day compared to that other jetty. It's so nice over here. Graffiti-less, that always helps. And you just feel more relaxed and in tune with nature out here. It just feels nice. That's why you're out here in the first place. In addition to catching fish, you know, you just want to enjoy the scenery, Mother Nature and all that stuff, and it's really not easy to do when there's graffiti and tagging everywhere. And it's also a lot nicer here too, because people, or at least the fishermen here, seem to be picking up their trash. You don't see all this tackle everywhere, these old lines, hooks, and beer cans and all that stuff. They seem to respect it a lot more here, which is nice.
All right, here's our Butterlip Perch. I anticipate it being very similar to surf perch as far as filleting goes, so let's get started. As always, we'll start by taking off the head. Then we're going to go from the top and work our way down. Just keep running your knife along the bones. That's one fillet off. And we'll do the same for the other side. And now that we've done that, let's go ahead and take off the skin. Now this is something I rarely do, which is use a tweezer to remove pin bones. I'm usually too lazy and I just cut that strip out. But because this isn't the biggest fish in the world, I want to save as much meat as possible so I can make myself a decent sized meal. And we're done.
Fish tacos, the go-to meal for every fisherman. And I'm gonna be preparing it in a way that I've never done before. I think you're really gonna like it, so stick around.
All right, let's start off by sauteing some sweet corn.
We're gonna cook that corn until it gets a nice golden brown on the outside.
Next, we're gonna chop up some tomato, onion, and cilantro and sprinkle in completely random transitions. Let's check our corn. Perfect. All right, let's turn our attention to the fish. We'll salt both sides and do the same with the cayenne pepper. Let's oil up our pan and place our fillets in. Let's heat up our corn tortillas over the flame. Very important to get some char for that smoky flavor. Now it's time to put everything together.
All right, if you guys haven't tried Mexican sour cream, you're really missing out. It's so delicious. As far as the key difference between sour cream, it's more liquid-like, but from a flavor perspective, it's so much more flavorful, it's so much more rich. It just adds that certain something that you can't get from regular sour cream. It's gonna be really good with these tacos.
Of course, you gotta have hot sauce. Almost forgot, need that lime.
Damn, that's good. I can definitely say that it's almost indistinguishable from Butterlip Perch. It's like almost identical. I can't tell the difference. Damn, I gotta make this more often. You know, that Mexican cream really gives it like a whole new dimension. It's like that tanginess as well as that richness that you just don't get from sour cream. It's so much better. I could eat like 8 more of those.